Hey, I'm Wendy Kohlmeyer. I'm going to show you today a little bit about the Prospect Hill neighborhood, which is walkable to downtown in Bloomington, Indiana. And if you are interested in this type of housing, these are old historic homes. This is a historic neighborhood, and I'm going to just show you a few of the historic homes that were built here. As you can see behind me, this is called Tinker's Mansion, and it was built in 1900 and it has a mansard roof on it. So that's a little bit different and typical of what you're going to see here. So let's look at that a little closer. So as you're going to see, a lot of these houses need some repair to it. Now this is a very cool house, and you can see all the ornate detail on the roof there. But a lot of these houses you'll see need to be updated. So let's go on a little walk here and see what else we've got. But you can see some of these little smaller homes. These are all built in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and are going to have some challenges keeping them up. Now, the historic districts, you do have to get approval to do any exterior modifications from the Historical Preservation Committee, and this is all a walkable neighborhood. You can walk to Kroger, which is just a few blocks to the south, and then Blooming Foods, which is a few blocks to the north. This is another little style house. They've done a really amazing job with the landscaping here, and this is called the Eva East House and was built in 1870, but you can see all the little ornamental fixtures that have been put on, and retaining wall here, but really pretty. This is the Paris Dunning House, and it is a combination of Federal and Greek Revival styles. It is owned by a law firm now and was completely renovated. It was built in 1845 and was owned by Paris Dunning, who served on the Indiana State Representative. He was a senator, president of the state senate, lieutenant governor, and finally governor, and also president of Indiana University's Board of Trustees. So that's a very cool house. Also very walkable. This is 525 West 3rd, and it is a bungalow style. It's got some stained glass, which is very cool, but you can see well, maybe you can't see because of all the bushes, but this is very typical of some of the homes that you see here. It's been added on to over the years. But you can see, like this house, they're having a lot of things done to it right now, and they're working hard on the porch here, trying to maintain and keep it in its original state. But you can see some of these little houses and all the intricate detail. But you can see how they've gone through here. The houses are very close together. This one actually looks like it's touching the other house, which would not be good if anything caught fire, but they've been around forever. You can see the little gray house has been built in 1909. And then we've got businesses here, and these are all still on the historic register. Prospect Hill Place, and then the Farr Center for Contemporary Arts. So those are very cool, and they've turned them into modern offices now and things like that. So there's the downtown parking garage, and it's just a short walk to all these places downtown. So let's look at this a little up close, that you can see this little knotty pine. And they do have 2 doors on it. I've been in this house. It was for sale a few years ago. Very cool. They've just done some really nice things to it. And then this is another house that's just got some really nice gardens. No mowing here. And what's very typical with the 2 doors. So but here's a little bungalow style. This has all been redone. You have to get your paint colors approved too. So that looks like a little purplish gray. But you can see some of these have garages in the back. Some of them have ADUs with a garage and then some apartment space above. But this is all considered very walkable to Indiana University and to the downtown area. This is what's called a pyramidal cottage. This was actually built in 1904. You can see that up under the roof eave there, but it's got a wraparound porch, which makes it really nice. It's got a little picket fence and arched entry here, and it's all landscaped and gorgeous. But this house was absolutely in ruins, and they built it back about 20 years ago and brought it back to life. So this is a very cute house, and you can see this front part here was the original house, and they did a bump out upstairs and added a garage to it, because this was a small house, but they had the room to do it, and it happened to be on a corner lot, so they could put a 2-car garage, which is very rare for the Prospect Hill neighborhood. But you can see as we're walking by, like, this house has all window units for air conditioning. It has not had that updated yet. So you're gonna have a mixture in here of houses that have been renovated and houses that have not. And it's interesting because right across the street, you can see they're doing a lot of construction here too, and updating this little house. And you can see the house next door there has had solar panels put on and gotten that approved for an energy credit. Now this house, this is an alleyway, although this house is right on the alleyway, so you can pull over here. It's got pretty extensive gardens going on that protect it from the neighbors and whatnot. You can see this house also has been added onto, and a lot more square footage to it. But here is this little cottage style at the back here, and it has no backyard at all. Just a little pull off for a car here, but again, extensive landscaping. Now this has got, they're getting ready to do some gardening here, and they've put up the big deer fencing because we have a lot of deer, and they will eat all your plants. Even if they're deer resistant, they still eat them here in Bloomington. So, now this is kind of an interesting house as well. Let's look at this. This is a newer add-on, and you can see the solar panels here. And it's separate from the house, but made to look like part of the house. So let's look at the front of this as we walk around here. This house, I would say, was probably built in the late 1800s. They've got some fantastic plants and things that they have put in here. Let's look at this. Yeah, it's really nice. This looks like a little newer. But it might not be. Some of these people have taken a plan and gone to the city and built newer houses to look like the houses that were originally there. So sometimes that can happen too. And then you have something that looks like it was built in the 50s or 60s, which is kind of uncharacteristic for this area, but there you have it. So what you're gonna find in this area is you're gonna find a mixture of rentals, houses for sale, residents that have lived here for years and years and passed it down. This is a little bit of a hilly area, but people love it for the convenience to Indiana University and to the downtown area. This is pretty cute. It's got a metal roof on it, little bungalow style, done in blue and yellow. And then this house, very cute. Been added on too at some point, and looks like it could be a student rental. I can hear the construction of the new Hopewell neighborhood, which is going on down at the end of the street. And like I said, Kroger is just about a half mile away. This is an interesting house and much bigger than what you would normally see here. I don't know when that was built, but it's definitely been modified and added onto. And then look at this cute little cottage, and it's got some original stained glass windows in it. As you can see here, that's very cool. I wouldn't replace that either. It's so cool. So they might have moved from California. But this is another one that needs some attention. And right next to this house is a church that you can see here. And then but you can see these houses are very close together. This house needs some love, for sure. And right at the end of the street is the Building and Trades Park, which across the street from that is where the old hospital was, and that is where the new Hopewell neighborhood is going to be built. So let's take a look at this park really quick. And you can see the greenhouse there, that's a new house. So I don't know what was there before, but they have gone in and modified it, and it looks like it has a separate garage with an apartment above it. So you can see the parking garage from the old hospital there that they are going to keep. Here's a cute little house that's been updated and redone. It's very small. And then with playground equipment. But this is a cute little bungalow. It's got vinyl siding, which I find interesting in this neighborhood, and a little window there for their dog to look out, which is kind of cute. And then you can see this house has been redone at some point. There's Bing, and let's look here. There's 601. This house is for sale. Look at this little tiny house. And then this little cutie. Love the balcony on that. But these are the kinds of things that you can look forward to in this neighborhood. Now, I don't know how they got that paint color passed. You can see this. It's got this bright yellow paint. Maybe they didn't get it passed. I don't know. Maybe the Historic Preservation Committee doesn't know yet. With all the landscaping and the purple accents, it's really kind of cute. Purple, green, and yellow. This is the Harry S. Rogers house. It's located on Rogers Street and was built in 1920. And this is a Elizabethan revival style. You can see some of the accents on the back of the house. It's also on a corner, and they have put in a 3-car garage there. So, another little bungalow style. Lots of different alleyways. Let's look at this house really quick here because I love the landscaping, and look at this. The landscaping's amazing. Blue, this is the Sayre House, and it is a Dutch colonial. Built in 1906 with Palladian windows and a gambrel roof. It is a variation in the John Nichols catalog, which he was one of the big architect designers in Bloomington back in the day when these neighborhoods were going in. If you like to bike or ride bike or walk, this is going to be a good neighborhood for you. If you don't mind taking care of an older home, it would be a great neighborhood. And walkable to all the things downtown. So very convenient. And here is a newer house. This is a half address. So, but you can see they've kept it all in that style, and they've tucked it back in here close on a lot. So that's kind of cool. And they do have all these garden spaces, which is really nice. I am really surprised that the deer haven't eaten all these flowers, because they are notorious for being everywhere in Bloomington. You really have to watch it. So this house right in front of us was built in 1899, and you can see that up at the top of the roof. They're proud that it's still standing, and they've taken such good care of it and maintained it, or done a renovation on it. So those are some of the homes in the Prospect Hill neighborhood. I really love this neighborhood because of its convenience to the downtown area, and that you can walk or bike everywhere. So that's a really nice perk to have. Now you're gonna pay, these are expensive houses because everybody wants to be here, right? So I'm gonna say at the minimum here, if you bought a junky house, you're gonna pay around $300, $350 for it. And then it only goes up from there on the historic homes. But it's a little piece of Bloomington, and there's not very many homes like this, so that's why people love it. If I can help you at all my contact information is in the description below, and I will help you with your move to Bloomington.